I woke up. There was one who touched me. It was a woman. She looked at me. She grabbed the latch to the collar and locked up. Follow, as she said. I followed her into another room. Here she began to wash. Hereafter she began fiddling with my nipples. I became very horny of it. I did the same with her. Then she kissed me gently on the mouth, then the nipples, and eventually crotch. Oh, it felt good. Her tongue drove around on the tip of his cock. I looked down. Cock, his head had become a clitoris. She licked my clitoris. Oh, groaned I. I whispered to her that she should go on. It seemed she understood it. I became more and more horny. So I began to groan. I could not control my moaning. She continued to lick, so I feel that the whole body began to buckle. My nipples were stiff. The whole body was completely stiff. Orgasm shot through the body. It felt like sperm was shot out of my cock. She stopped licking. The whole body was limp. My legs could hardly carry. I looked down. She was quite wet in the head. It was not the sperm that had come. I had peed her straight in the mouth. Then she pulled head back and got the rest of the head. She started laughing and said, "It's my turn." I exclaimed, "Do you speak English?" "Yes," she replied. "Came in time. We do not have all day. We will soon be taken." I began to lick her pussy, but then there was a stone, and a sharp pain bred out. It was my balls had been hit by a whip. It was the man from before. He had come into the room without us had heard him. He shouted something and grabbed my collar and pulled me over to the sink, and pointed to a pile of laundry as lay on the table. Then he said something to the woman. She nodded and he went. She walked over to me and said, "Remember, you owe me a trip." I nodded. She reached out and said, "I'm Vanilla. I have been here for a year." I reached out and shook hands with her. So she asked, "What is your name?" She looked at me. I hesitated. I said, "My name is Jette." She smiled. "Hello, Jette. Welcome to hell. We have to wash these clothes before he comes back. We are going off the field and remove the weeds." We washed clothes and hung it up. Then came the man. He had a chains. The chain was attached to the Git's collar and then mine. Then he took a rope, put it firmly in Git's collar. Then he pulled the rope and pulled us out into the yard, where his horse stood. He jumped on the horse, began to walk, and we had to follow Git. I replied, "We should not have clothes on." She turned her head and laughed. "No, it uses slave knot," or she had not said, as he pulled the rope, so Git nearly stumbled. See video 6.